So I'm 23, I'm from the UK. I run a faceless YouTube channel called Wi-Fi Uni, and it makes me around 2 grand a month. And I've made videos about this before, but I want to come at it from a slightly different angle today, because I think there's a part of the story I haven't really talked about properly yet, which is the thinking behind it. Like, not just what I did, but why I made the specific decisions I made, because I think that's actually the more useful bit. Please excuse this AI slop voice. I promise the value in this video is worth it. So let me start with the niche decision, because I think this is where most people go wrong before they've even made a single video. When I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel, I wasn't just thinking about what I was interested in or what I knew about. I was thinking about what niche had the right conditions for making actual money. And what I mean by that is I was looking for a niche where sponsors already existed, where there was clearly an audience of people searching for this stuff, and where the content I'd be making would naturally fit around products those sponsors were selling. And I landed on AI and making money online for a pretty specific reason, which is that I noticed every single channel in that space was getting paid by companies. Like, you couldn't watch a tutorial about an AI tool without there being a sponsor somewhere in it. And what this told me was that there was already an established ecosystem of companies willing to pay creators to talk about their products to this audience. And all I had to do was build a channel that gave those companies a reason to email me. That sounds obvious when I say it like that, but I think most people starting YouTube channels don't think about it this way at all. They pick something they're passionate about and hope the money figures itself out later. And sometimes that works, but it's a much slower and more uncertain path than just looking at where the money already is and building there. The other decision I made early on that I think shaped everything was going faceless. And I want to explain the actual reasoning behind that, because it wasn't just about being shy or not wanting to be on camera, although honestly that was part of it. The real reason was that I wanted the channel to be about the information, not about me. And what I mean by that is if you build a channel around your personality and your face, then the channel is dependent on you showing up and performing every single time. And that's fine if that's what you want, but I wanted something that felt more like a small media operation, something where the content stands on its own, regardless of whether you find me personally interesting or not. And practically speaking, the faceless format with an AI voiceover just made everything faster. No camera, no lighting, no takes, just script it, run it through the voiceover tool, edit, upload. And because it was faster, I could post more. And posting more meant more visibility, more inbound from brands, more surface area for the algorithm to push the channel. And that volume is honestly one of the biggest factors in why the channel grew the way it did. Now I want to talk about the part of this that nobody really prepares you for properly, which is the period where you're doing everything right and it's still not working. Because there's this thing that happens with YouTube specifically where the work you put in and the results you see are completely disconnected for a long time. And I'm talking months. Like, I was posting every other day. The content was decent, the niche was right, and the videos were still sitting at 60, 70 views for months. And it's genuinely hard to keep going through that, because from the outside, it looks exactly the same as if you were doing everything wrong. And I think the mental model that got me through it was just understanding that YouTube is a lagging indicator. Like, the results you see today are not a reflection of the work you're doing today. They're a reflection of the work you did 3 or 6 months ago. And that means when you're in the early phase and nothing seems to be moving, you're actually just building up a debt that the algorithm will pay back later. And the only thing that determines how big that payback is how much work you put in during that quiet period. So I kept going. Every other day. Do the next one. Don't obsess over the numbers. And eventually, one video started doing different numbers to everything else. More impressions, better click-through rate, people actually watching the whole thing. And YouTube pushed it. And the back catalog I'd built over months of consistent posting meant people had somewhere to go after that first video. And the channel started moving properly from there. The income side, I want to break down honestly, because I think the headline number of 2 grand a month sounds either impressive or unimpressive, depending on who you are. And I'd rather just explain where it comes from so you can form your own view. The majority of it is sponsors, companies making AI tools who email me asking to be featured in videos. And the rate per video is lower than you might think, somewhere between $100 and $200. But I accept that pretty readily because the volume of videos I post means there's a steady pipeline of deals, rather than one big negotiation every few months. And the integrations fit naturally into the content, so it doesn't feel like an interruption to the viewer. On top of that, I make around $200 a month from affiliate links, tools I genuinely use and recommend that pay me a cut when someone signs up through my link. And then AdSense is about $100 a month, which is nice, but it's not the main event at 25,000 subscribers. And I've just launched a school community on top of all of that, which is adding recurring revenue that compounds month on month. So the overall income picture is moving in a direction I'm pretty happy with at 23. I think the thing I'd want someone to take from this video, if there's one thing, is that the decisions you make before you start, the niche, the format, the monetization model, matter way more than most people realize. And most people don't think about them carefully enough because they're too focused on just getting started. Getting started matters, consistency matters, all of that is real. But getting started in the right place with the right model means the ceiling is just so much higher than if you jumped into something without thinking it through. I got a bit lucky with the timing. The AI content space was growing fast when I started, but the underlying logic of finding a niche where sponsors already exist and building a consistent presence there, that's not luck. That's just a decent plan. If you're thinking about building something like this, I hope this gave you something useful. And if you want more direct help with it, I do have a school community where I offer personal feedback. Link is in the description. Completely up to you whether that's something you'd find useful. Cheers for watching.